Dallas Stars have won 2 straight, 5 of their last 6, 7 of their last 9, and a big reason why, Razor, Kari Lehtonen.
Yes, he is winning, thus he keeps getting the nod from Lindy Ruff. He's now 7th in the NHL in wins and 7th in shutouts with 5.
Cody Eakin in between Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn. Benn and Seguin 1-2 in Dallas scoring. Benn 67 points, Seguin 64. Tyler missed 10 games. Tyler has a team-leading 33 goals, and Cody Eakin in between them has picked up some points lately. 6 goals, 10 points in the last 15 games for the Dallas red-headed center iceman Alex Goligoski and Jyrki Jokipaka on the back end. At center ice, Johan Larsson, young Swede, opposing Cody Eakin. Tyler Innes is their big point guy, but by big, I mean a team leading 18 goals and a team leading 39 points. He's out there too. So is Matt Moulson, second with 11 goals. And Moulson cleans it up from inside his line. Mike Weber and Rasmus Ristolainen, the opening defensive pair for Ted Nolan. Goligoski gets it back from Seguin, finds Jokipaka at center ice, shoots it in. Lindback watched it go wide of the net. Mike Weber to the line. Goligoski fired it. Lindback pawed it aside. Seguin after Weber, who reverses it. 2 out for Ristolainen. He gets it back from Ennis. Takes the contact from Seguin and finds Weber. Pass ahead to Moulson at center ice. He turns it over to Eves. Stars changing 2. And Spezza hooked it toward the middle of the ice. Nemeth had climbed up toward the line. His defense partner, John Klingberg, back for the puck. Ales Hemsky and Patrick Eves up there with Spezza. This was a very good line put together the other night against Chicago in Dallas' 4-0 win. Spezza blocked that with his chest. And Grigorenko shot it out to center ice. Marcus Foligno whips it on in. Brian Giunta, the other guy on that line. Giunta, the veteran, 36 years old. He got a cup with the Devils in 03. From the line, Nikita Zadorov shot it around the boards. Tyson Strachan is his defense partner, and Kari Lehtonen will take the faceoff in his zone.
Well, Lindy Ruff's message to the team prior to that game in Buffalo was respect them, and for the most part they did. They outshot the Sabres 40-24. They just didn't outscore them. The message won't change here tonight, but the concentration surely will be on how the Stars play, and they're going to have to do a lot of plowing around the stump tonight. The Sabres trap pretty hard in neutral ice and pack it in front of their own net in their own zone.
Here's Horcoff and the kids we spoke of. Demers shoots it in from center ice. Curtis McKenzie in the left corner. That's Brett Ritchie back in the net. Both first-year NHL players. Both like to take the body. Both aren't shy to get to the front, as in here. And that shot from Demers was blocked before either could find it. Jordy Ben to McKenzie back in the net, looking for Horcoff. That goes off Hedberg's goal stick. Jordy Ben back again for Horcoff. Trying to center it on his backhand. Ritchie weaving his way toward the front. The pass to Jordy Ben. Shooting it. Save Hedberg. And he'll hang on. Or Lindback, pardon me. He'll hang on.
Well, Ted Nolan has faced a lot of challenges while guiding the young, under-talented, and now banged-up Sabres, but they compete and stay in a lot of games. 27 of their 52 losses are by either a goal or a couple of goals. So it's not like they get pasted every night on the scoreboard.
They've been competitive, and everybody's got pride, playing all the way down here the end of the season. Will surprise some people. Larson to the Dallas line. He's tripped up. Goligoski back of the net. Fiddler, Roussel, and Sevier, Dallas' final trio up front, and there's Vern. Up ahead, Roussel is just across the Buffalo line ahead of the puck, and you can't do that.
Well, one of the guys who stepped in and produced for the Buffalo Sabres is Larson. 3 goals and 6 points in his last 7 games. Essentially their top center right now. And he was the captain of that 2012 Swedish World Junior Championship team that had both Klingberg and Nemeth on the blue line. Picked him up in the deal that made Pominville a Minnesota Wild.
Originally a 3rd-round pick of Minnesota's. Larson was. Grigorenko went after the puck in the Dallas zone. Weber held the line. It dipped in off Lehtonen in front. Eakin up ahead. And here's Seguin. Jamie Benn jockeying, trying to get there. Hammers Ristolainen back of the net. Shot from Nemeth blocked in front. Ben, by the way, coming in one hit behind Jason Demers for the team lead. Klingberg from the wing shot. Nice drop pass from Seguin to Eakin in the corner. Weber roughs him up. And the puck goes deep again. Eakin clawing through. Grigorenko at bay. And the pass off Jamie Benn and out of the zone.
One thing that strikes you about the Sabres and Ben in there trying to soften it up a little bit is their size on defense. It is a big blue line. Not as big as it once was, maybe.
Right.
Although Bogosian, who came over in that deal, is a large lad, too.
Bogosian's been hurt. Came over in the deal that sent Tyler Myers to Winnipeg and the injured Evander Kane to Buffalo. Here come the Stars. Hemsky over the line. Eaves couldn't drag it away. And Delorier up to center ice. Hodgson stepping past Jody Ben. Put it into the slot. Jokipaka played it away to the boards. Sent deep by Zadorov all the way around. Hudson shouldering with Spezza. Eaves got it free. Baroni turns and fires, and Lettinen accepts it with his catching glove.
Well, Ben has not done a ton of goal scoring lately. Just one in his last 13 games, but as we've said throughout his young, brilliant career, he does other things. Hustles in on your young defenseman, Ristolainen, and pummels him in behind the net. First man pressure. Good reverse by their D to get away from that pressure.
John Horkoff, Tim Schaller in the circle. Kari Lettinen's left. Horkoff wins the draw. Horkoff had a good night in the faceoff circle the other night, too. Ellis, Jan, Goligoski, and Horkoff were there. Jokipaka with the pass ahead. Ritchie steering it toward McKenzie. Jockeying his way loose in the zone. Curling out of the corner for Ritchie. He's surrounded right away. Ellis tapped it away. Schaller plays it to the line and out. Goligoski will go get it.
Yeah, I think the Stars are going to have to be patient, play smart, and be hard in that middle area in front of the net.
Jokipaka turned it over, but then fought back against Ellis. And Dallas will bring it up as Buffalo's looking for a change. McKenzie sliding past Larson. Turned it over at the Buffalo line. Strachan runs it down the ice. Waved the icing, and Klingberg back for the puck. Takes the hit from former Swedish teammate. Ennis jammed it to the net. The save, Kari Lettinen, as little Tyler Ennis is in there buzzing around.
Yeah, he's pint size, but he's hyper competitive. List him at 5'9", and not very many pounds, but he gets in after this one and turns it immediately into a scoring chance. There's their first man pressure and physical, and tried to cram that one past Kari Lettinen. I guess Ennis is a little under the weather playing in this one. They don't have any choice though.
Carrying a lot of bodies. Stars win the faceoff again. Klingberg up ahead to Fiddler. Sevier will haul it over. Turn on Benoit, puts it back in the net. Sevier pitching it out to the line for Nemeth. The shot, that's deflected by Roussel wide of the net. Klingberg ferociously after the puck back of the goal. Flicks it away, centers it, and off the sticks and bodies in front. Molson able to clear.
Strachan had lost most of his gear.
Ennis trying to get a step. Klingberg came back on him. Shot from Larson, a riser over the top of Lettinen's net.
Wow, did he rip that? That thing flew off the stick blade.
Scorched, if you will. Jordan absorbing the hit from Larson. Tyler Seguin. 4 goals and 5 points in the 7 games since he returned after missing 10. Ristolainen spun around in the corner. Gianta to the line. Ben reached out, couldn't hold it there. And here's Gianta. They're offside at the Dallas line. 13:54 remaining in the first period. No score for the Stars and the Sabres in Dallas.
Score here at American Airlines Center. Stars and the Sabres, and no points last 3 games for John Klingberg. A bit of an oddity for him. He gets up on this one, though. Hustles in behind. Sort of a forechecking defenseman, if you will, and strips Strachan of both the puck and most of his gear. At the other end, little button hook. Sets up that sizzler from Larson. What did he... That's the stick doing the work. Brett Hull would have loved that one. Lean on it. Get that kick.
Torque and whip. Ben for Seguin, now toward Eakin at the line. Ristolainen poked it deep. Eakin, well guarded. Tyler Seguin, he hits Ristolainen. Jamie Benn, nowhere to go along the boards. Gianta coming out with it again for Buffalo. Dragging it toward the Dallas line. Shot from the wing wide of the net from Molson. Then Foligno all tied up. Demers with the pass ahead to Seguin at center ice, and he'll shoot it in. Lindback back to get it for Buffalo. I'll say that for myself. Ristolainen. Pausing. Not quite the thunder we had the other night when the Hawks were in town. Long pass too far for Delorier. It's icing against Buffalo.
Well, not a real high chance start to this one. And really the hope for the Buffalo Sabres is that they score first. They have a winning record when they open the scoring. 17, 13, and 3. And you know, it's a lot of get your hands up, protect yourself, and hang on. When they don't score first, they have 3 wins.
Unbelievable.
Just 1 goal, just that first goal.
3:32 and 4. And another icing against Buffalo.
You know, it's the battle, I think, for the Stars here tonight between making your own excitement, which can be dangerous, and showing patience. You know, go about your business, do the right things without the puck and in your own zone. But don't think that all of a sudden you've got to pierce things and make things happen. That's what been a problem area for them at times at home this season.
Goligoski has a little room, snuck it in front, and Patrick Eaves tried to spin on the backhand, but the puck was away. Hodson Delorier at the Dallas line. He shot it. Kari Lehtinen swallows.
Well, in case you're enjoying a cold one tonight, I hope you are. I'd like to remind you that Miller time is coming up later in the game, brought to you by Pilsner Brewed Miller Lite. The celebrating Kari's save from considerable distance. Celebrated all those saves the other night when the Hawks were in here. He's playing great right now. He's working to see pucks. He's eliminated the stoppable goals against. Big part of it.
64 of 65 in his last 2 games. There's another stop at the side of the net. Puck chunk to Strachan here along the near boards. He'll dump it back of the net. Molson, who's had good numbers in his career against Dallas, was dumped. Ennis puts it back of the net out of Molson's reach. Goligoski passing it ahead. Horkoff on the wing to Ritchie. Moving in. Right circle. Ritchie to Horkoff. Sliding it toward the front, and McKenzie ties up his man. Goligoski's pass to Ritchie intercepted, and the Sabres Ennis kicks it ahead. Here he comes with Molson into the Dallas zone. Ennis tried to pass to Molson, who was covered by Ritchie all the way to the net.
Late in the shift, I think, for Ennis, too, and a little gassed on that one.
Well, McKenzie just kept following that puck into the zone. Andre Mazzaros with a pass ahead. And it's Foligno dusting it off, chipping it in deep. Klingberg back to the Dallas net. Avoiding the hit, working it to Roussel. Foligno clocks him along the boards. Klingberg getting it to safety to Patrick Nemeth. Nemeth pass ahead to Fiddler. He'll steer it deep. Lindback back to cut it off. Fiddler in the corner. He's jammed. And Gianta with the pass ahead. Grigorenko to the Dallas line. Demers cleans it up, shot it into the middle, and it comes right back to him. Jordy Benn floats it deep off Vern Fiddler's stick. Zadorov to the boards. Roussel centers it blindly. Ellis will take it to center ice. On the wing for Schaller. Trying to jockey past Jordy Benn. He and Demers back in the net. So's Jordy. Out toward the line. Weber shooting it wide of a screen. Kari Lehtinen. Ristolainen walking in. Backhand shot. Save Lehtinen has carved himself into a scoring area.
Did he ever? That's a big load trucking to the net. Back a couple shifts ago, Strachan gets caught. Their defenseman just gets caught in no man's land. Bad things happen when you do that. He doesn't pinch in, doesn't get the puck. Stars get an odd man rush, partial one anyway out of that, but can't get anything dangerous in there. This was dangerous. So how you doing? Jordy Benn on the way to the front, Kari Lehtinen to the rescue.
Eakin wins the faceoff. Jokipaka puts it around behind. Goligoski takes a look. Here he comes. The pass to Seguin at center ice. Kind of rips it around the boards. Lindback doesn't cut it off. Benn shot it. Save Lindback. Loose. And they give him the whistle even though the puck appeared to be away from the goal.
Well, the ref's on the other side, and he's completely blocked out by the goalie there. And that was the the surprise package from a severe angle. Lindback had a beat. It looks like nothing's going to go on, and then not even looking, rifles it toward the net. It caromed around a little bit. He was guilty, Lindback, a couple of times of giving up those in games behind the Dallas Stars earlier this year.
So give him a try. Hodgson found it, shot it, saved Letton, and he shows Philip Veroni the puck.
That was the true Statue of Liberty at the tail end of that one.
Yes.
Actually got back to his wheels on this one. Good pursuit by the Sabres. Veroni could never get himself really settled in front to do much with this. Slips through him and stared right into the mitt by Kari Lehtonen.
Strachan off the Sabres face-off win. Ennis pumped it back at the net. Larson. Klingberg following him to the corner. And Klingberg, Nemeth helped get Larson away from the puck. Eaves to Spezza at center ice. He'll leave it. In comes Hemsky dancing. Hemsky shot it. Strachan blocked it. Back of the net for Spezza. Nobody in front, and then he angled it off Larson right in on Lindback.
Fans are into that tricky stuff around the net right now. A good night the other night by this line. Reassembled by Lindy Ruff and really paid dividends. Spezza, Hemsky, and Patrick Eaves. Spezza's just torn the Buffalo Sabres apart in his NHL career.
Wins a face-off here. Klingberg punts it to the corner. Grigorenko, Foligno lost it. Spezza, who had a goal and an assist in that win Saturday against the Hawks. Now Nemeth threw it in, and Anders Lindback sends us to break again. Half a period gone for the Dallas Stars and the Buffalo Sabres, and there's no score. The American Airlines Center in Big D. Through the first period, no score for the Stars and the Sabres. Season tickets for 2015-16 are on sale now. Full season tickets offer the best seats and the best prices for every Stars game. Call 214-GO-STARS to reserve your season ticket today. Stars are almost exactly where they were a calendar year ago. Same number of wins, just one less point. But everybody else has more. Back to play in the Buffalo zone. Grigorenko on the wing to Gianta. He shot it over. Klingberg kicked it ahead. Benn wants to grab it and go, and that's what he does. To the Buffalo line. Seguin driving to the net. Benn shooting it. Saved. Lindback off his head.
Got most of it. Seguin got dragged down on his way to open ice. After making a real good defensive play, tracking back to help out Klingberg defensively.
Klingberg keeping Gianta at bay and out near the line. Nemeth dropping back of his net. It's a hit from Foligno. And Benn giving it back to Nemeth. Pass ahead. Ritchie swerving, moving in, shot it, tipped wide and into the corner. McKenzie fighting with Ellis. Sneaking past Jordy Benn at the line. And he and Demers away from Dalby inside the Dallas zone. Jordy will stop. Give it to Demers. Snapped it over to Horkoff. Good pass. Push the line into McKenzie. Heavy into the corner. Puck evades Horkoff. Ellis sends it to center ice.
Lots of matriculating their way up the ice. And, you know, when they do get a turnover like that last chance with Benn and Seguin, tough to get free and clear.
Hudson played it ahead. Veroni missed it. Here comes Spezza turning the corner on Benoit. Spezza shot it. Saved Lindback. Punched it into the slot. Rebound. And Eaves didn't get much on it.
Puck was bouncing a little, I think.
Hodgson now exploding to the Dallas line. Swinging wide. Jokipaka takes the body. He keeps plowing through. Hodgson does for the puck. Spezza comes away with a pass to Hemsky. He'll leave it for Goligoski. Threading it through to Spezza at the Buffalo line. Now for Eaves. Shot it. Anders Lindback makes his 7th first period save.
A little bit more pace as this period moves along. The guy with the most pace in the game is Tyler Seguin. Good position, hustles back, closes ice, allows Klingberg to step up. They go in transition the other way, and Meszaros is all over him. Flips him in the skates a little bit, knocks him down. You see the red? No problem. Shot goes through it, no chance for Jamie Benn to get that to him.
Sabres come away with the puck. Molson out of his own zone, up through the middle of the ice. Ennis claims it. Flipped it on to Molson. To pass that over, Klingberg blocked it, and Lettman got enough of it to Nemeth so he could scorch it up the boards.
Nemeth is almost always in the right spot, too.
Stars trying to keep the Sabres pinned in, but it's dragged out ahead. Zadorov to the Dallas line. Larson, one-on-one against Nemeth. Back of the net, Nemeth takes the man, Klingberg the puck. Immediately up the middle of the ice, delays and then plays it on the wing. Antoine Roussel taking it over, nudging it deep to Fiddler back of the net. Zaros takes Fiddler, loose puck for Sevier, a diving play, and it's wide of the net. Close call again in front of the Buffalo goal. Under 7 minutes to play in the opening period, no score yet. Stars have 34 wins and 78 points. They are 8 points back of the second wild card, 9 points back of the first wild card. They got to hop 4 teams though. Jamie Benn puts it into the slot. Gianta keeping it away from Eakin, and then a pass on the forehand. Grigorenko into the Dallas zone. The young Russian spins, feeds it off. Ristolainen into the corner, centers it. Weber, a shot. That's blocked in front. I don't know that Lettman got it. Grigorenko passing off. Shot from Foligno. Save, rebound, score! Gianta puts the Sabres up 1-0.
Well, the first bid was blocked, I believe, by Jamie Benn in front of the net. Those are quick hands on Brian Gianta on that rebound opportunity. They come in, and they change the point of attack a couple of times. Use the weak side. Stars are packed in. The original shot there gets blocked, but watch how quick the hands are on number 12, Gianta. Inside position on Demers, who didn't see him coming, didn't hear him coming. Big, corpulent rebound off the pads of Kari Lettman. And the guy who's been dry for 10 games opens the scoring for the Sabres here tonight.
8th goal of the season for a perennial 20-goal man at age 36. Providing some veteran leadership for the Buffalo Sabres, and he gets them on the board. It's 1-0.
Well, and he plays a lot. I mean, most forwards in this league don't play, well north of 20 minutes in a game. He's playing 23, 24 minutes for them. His captaincy is still vacant in Montreal. No captain with the Montreal Canadiens, and he was immediately made the captain of these Buffalo Sabres.
He's a free agent in the summer. Strachan off the Buffalo face-off win. Ennis lost the puck. Horkoff ahead to McKenzie. They'll let Ritchie go chase after it. Lindback nudged it to the corner. Iokipaka clubbed it down. And if the Stars touch that puck, they do. It's a hand pass in the offensive zone against Dallas. So, under 6 minutes to play in the first period in Buffalo, they almost only win when they score first, and they score first. It's 1-0.
Nothing. Sabres with about 6 minutes to go in the first period. 1-goal deficit, not an issue for this Stars team. The highest goals for per game since 96-97. That was Hitchcock's first year. They won the President's Trophy that campaign, averaging well over 3 goals. Not well over, but a skosh over 3 goals a game.
Comparatively well over. They can get one here. First period winding down. Spezza walks out, shot it. Save Lindback. Goligoski fired. That was partially blocked by Ennis. And Ristolainen into center ice. Shot that off Hemsky at the Dallas line and bounced back to him, but the Sabres are offside.
Well, Lindback's been able to handle everything that he has had to deal with here in the opening frame. Good toe save on a wraparound. I was curious to see how he'd play here tonight in this one. He's played well for them. Sometimes maybe trying too hard at times in the Stars net earlier this year and got the best of him. It was never an issue early on, though. He never had any poor starts. It wasn't like they scored, on 3 of the first 5 shots in games or that. It was always that third period, and he wasn't alone with third period issues.
Nope. Antoine Roussel stopped. Lost Mazzaros, didn't realize that. He came right back toward him and then put it into the slot. Delorier sends it ahead. Hodgson tries to go rink wide. Klingberg bats it forward. Here comes Fiddler into the zone. Fiddler has a step. Fiddler dropped it. Sevier tugged down. And a penalty coming up against the Sabres.
Well, they're going to get the power play opportunity, but it was a beautiful setup. Got to pull the trigger quicker. A couple of times here in the opening frame, they haven't been quick enough. Quick twitch. muscles on the tail end, right in front. I mean, it's on his stick. Did everything right. Drove deep, pushed them back. Fiddler lays it back. It's in the slot, and as he dusted it off for a second, Cody Hodgson came back, mauled him. He's in the box. Penalty killing has not been a strong suit for them.
Stars 2 for 3 against the Hawks on Saturday. Here's Ben. It went off of his stick. Ben, now Seguin to Ritchie. Shot it wide. Spezza in the corner. Klingberg out at the right point. Takes the pass. Down to Seguin. Seguin in front. Tipped by Ritchie. Save Lindback. Kick back out to Spezza. Has to settle the puck. Now he passes it across the ice for Seguin. Ben's in front of the net. That's Klingberg. Had trouble with it at the line. Works it on to Spezza. Down to Ben. Back to Spezza. Into Ritchie, a shot. Save Lindback. Ben after the rebound. He picked it off. And then plays it back to Seguin. Moving toward the net. Seguin shot it. Blocked in front. Cleared. Klingberg will keep it in with the body. Look off Gianta and give it to Ben. Into the corner for Seguin. Ritchie dealing it to Spezza. Back across to Seguin. It hit him in the skate. Tapped it back to Klingberg. Swept it on to Seguin. And then his pass blocked. Gianta clears.
Lots of movement. You know, the Stars have 11 shots here in the first period. I think 10 of the 11 have been on the ice. Haven't been able to elevate anything.
Second unit on here for the Stars on the power play. They've gotten production out of this half as well. Anders Lindback shot it up. Hemsky took it away along the boards. That's Horcoff. He scored a power play goal against Chicago the other night. He's got 4 with the extra man this season. Goligoski passing to Vern Fiddler. Horcoff's in front of the net. Fiddler shot it. Lindback makes the stop, and there's no rebound.
Sean's always been comfortable as a net front guy. He did that early in his career with the Edmonton Oilers. Strong on his stick in front of the net. He's not one of these guys who moves out of the way early and allows goaltenders to see it, so he provides the door, and he's also has pretty good hand-eye coordination as far as deflecting pucks in front of the net. He's played great. This month of March has been outstanding.
Demers bursts after a puck. Hemsky under control. 20 seconds remaining on the power play. He's double-teamed. Puck shoots back of the net. Schaller hands it off. Strachan plays it forward, and Ellis shoots it down the ice. 5 seconds remaining on Hudson's 6th minor of the season. Hemsky sliding in against Weber. He's tripped up. Penalty coming up against Buffalo. Stars will go right back on the job.
Weber's probably kicking himself that he didn't just step into Hemsky over there. And as soon as Hemsky, who can be pretty breezy, scooted past him, he reached out with his stick and tripped him up. Good outlet pass by Goligoski. He steps to it. Maybe realized that he was going to get beat wide and flip the places on Hemsky. So reloaded.
And the Sabres dead last, both power play and penalty killing in the league, and they're only 68.8% on the kill on the road.
Well, they've allowed a goal a game with their penalty kill away from home, better than a goal a game.
Ben out to Klingberg off the faceoff win. Klingberg being chased by Gianta finds Ben with some room. Shot it, save Lindback. Seguin to the loose puck. Out to Klingberg, now to Ben. Ben to Klingberg, shot it wide of the net.
Deflected by Spezza back toward the net. That was dangerous.
Seguin cuts off a clearing attempt. Spezza centers to Ben. A shot, save Lindback.
There's one elevated.
And the puck ripped off the boards and down the ice.
But just watch the number of times Klingberg, as the guy up top, changes the side that the Stars power play works it. It's what penalty kills don't want. They want you on one side of the ice.
Spezza takes the line. Ben takes a step past Ellis, feeds it back out to Klingberg on the left point. Walk to the right, feed it back to Seguin. Tossing it to Klingberg. Finds Spezza. Spezza shot it, looking for a tip. It came back out to Seguin off a skate. Tyler Seguin whipped it out to Klingberg. Seguin shot it. Save Lindback, out of play.
A bazooka. Again, the ability to run, they call it an umbrella, whatever you want to call it up top, but it forces the penalty killers to try to figure out which side you're going to work from, and it makes the goaltender look through all those bodies back and forth. Early chance, up high, backdoor chance. Pays to be 6'6" on your knees. Got that one with the shoulder. And then that searing blast off the other shoulder from the guy who leads the Stars in power play goals, Tyler Seguin.
Foligno tried to take it and go, but Jason Demers will get back for the puck. And Alex Goligoski with 40 seconds left on the Dallas power play. There's Hemsky again. He likes that wing. He pushes it into the corner for Demers. Shoulders with Gianta. Horcoff dashing over to secure the puck. Passing to Goligoski. Working his way to his left. Handing it off to Hemsky. Back out to Goligoski. Moving it to Demers. Lot of room. Goligoski. Demers. Tried to go across. It's blocked by Foligno.
Yeah, just telegraphed a little too much, trying to get it to Hemsky, and that long reach of Foligno broke it up.
Hemsky keeps it on a string. Loops it back out to Goligoski. 5 left on the power play. He'll set it down, give it to Demers. Now to Horcoff in the corner. A lot of movement, no shots. Power play is over. Weber's back on. Final minute of the first period. Goligoski works it around the Buffalo zone. Threw it at the net, save Lindback. Schaller backhands it, and Demers will go back and pick it up for Dallas, but it's icing, yeah it is, against the Buffalo Sabres, giving us a chance to remind you that Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people to reach their full potential. For more information, visit foxsportssupports.com. Well, lots of zone time, good puck movement, but maybe too methodical with it. You know, just not quite quick enough to get ahead of the penalty killers. This is an interesting scenario here. Good move by Lindy Ruff, obviously, bring these top boys out here. You've got 3 defensemen on the ice because of the... I don't think they got their change in, did they? Stars win it. Nemeth shot it, directed into the corner. 40 left in the period. Seguin centering pass, popped to the far boards. Jordy Ben all the way around to Seguin in the corner. Back out to Nemeth. Eaves in the high slot. He'll pump that tip. Score! Late first period goal, and the game is tied. Well, you could just see how messed up the Sabres were. Strachan is telling Weber, another defenseman, you've got to go out there. He was actually trying to direct traffic. Weber doesn't play forward, number 6. He's the guy who came out of the box. Stars are able to work around that a little bit. The shot from distance, there's no block in front. There's a calamity at the net. Ben gets inside, perfect deflection. Lindback can't find it. Just a smooth, tippable shot. Leaks between the legs, was probably going to go wide until the twitch of the left leg of Lindback. And with half a minute to go in the opening frame, the Stars get it back to level. If it's Ben's, it's his 25th at 19:31. Eaves will get the primary assist on that shot from the high slot. Dallas' 17th first period bid at the Buffalo net, and they're in there again with 15 left in the period. Here's Spezza curling out of the corner, reversing against Ristolainen, clogged up by Grigorenko. Threw it across, Andre Benoit. Up the middle off Larson, and there's the horn. Well, the Sabres are feeling like they had a perfect road period going until they got in penalty trouble, and the Stars stayed patient. And although they don't score a special teams goal, in all intent and purpose, it really was. For the Dallas Stars, looking for their 3rd straight win. They've won 5 of their last 6 and 7 of their last 9. They're having trouble gaining ground in the playoff race in the Western Conference. No matter, they'll play them one at a time. Tonight, they're tied with the Buffalo Sabres 1-1 after 20 minutes at the American Airlines Center. Heading to the second period, 1-1 for the Stars and the Sabres. Buffalo's captain Brian Gianta opened the scoring, and Dallas's captain Jamie Benn got one back late. It was a wonderful old maxim, if you will, that hard work can beat talent if talent doesn't work hard. The problem for the Sabres here tonight is that the talent that Jamie Benn has is working hard. He has tested Lindback repeatedly in the opening 20 minutes. He's taken the body, and he's the lone goal scorer for the Stars. Half a minute to go, deflection right in front as he got interior position on everybody in front. Got a twist to that one that went through Lindback. You know, at times I sit there and I'm like,
you feel like maybe you could get a little more out of the captain from game to game. 25 goals. He's going to set another career high in assists. He's 2 assists from that. He's top 10 in NHL scoring. I mean, he should stand there like in Gladiator. Are you not impressed?
6 points back. The NHL scoring lead, too. Let's throw that one in there. Here's Tyler Innes into the zone. Jyrki Jokipaka upsetting him along the boards. Johan Larsson, Tyler Seguin back at the Dallas net. Grapple for the puck. Goligoski feeds it. Weber holds it in for Buffalo. Smacked it around behind Larsson. Looked at Ennis, passes off. And the shot from Ristolainen knocked down. There go the Stars. Ben's waiting for the pass. It just missed him at the Buffalo line. Lindback back there. Ben stole it away from him, but Lindback gets help from his defenseman, Weber.
Gave him a hairy eyeball on the way back into his net. Where'd you come from? Tyler Seguin's been moved back to center. I think it's the first time since he came back into the Stars lineup.
Puck launched a little too far from Molson, and that is icing against Buffalo.
You know, he was asked a little while ago, you want to go back to center by Lindy Ruff, and he was fine just sticking on the wing for then. His face-offs at home this season have grown in percentage. That's a big improvement for him. Forget about all the goals and everything else. He's 58% on home ice. Of course, he only has to take face-offs on one side because Ben takes them on the other, both on their strong sides.
Stars are a very good face-off team. Another area of improvement this season with Spezza joining the group. They'll take another one here in the Buffalo zone.
So I would think Seguin moving back into the middle says that he's feeling a little more spry with that damaged knee and dealing with it. Goal every 2 games. It's not bad. That puts you in the top of the herd in the NHL, or Ford leaderboard goals per game. He sits 4th in the NHL.
Spezza firing the second time, went wide of the net. Eakin out here then with Spezza and Hemsky. Patrick Nemeth, a first period assist on that Jamie Benn goal. That's his 2nd career point. He got the puck on to Eakin, who's fighting it a bit. Molson taps it off the glass to the Dallas line. Klingberg spins to find it and then shoots it off a Saber and in. Lindback put that puck down for Weber. Takes a step away from Spezza and passes it over to Rasmus Ristolainen.
Good example by Weber there that sometimes doing nothing is the best play.
Stars bring it right back in, though. Spezza's shot is blocked. Mikhail Grigorenko backhanding it ahead to Foligno at the Dallas line. He left it. Gianta, shot save. Lettinen and Hemsky gets to the loose puck along the boards. Can't chip it past Strachan. Foligno and Nemeth came together. Gianta couldn't get to that puck. Benoit fires it and a split save for Kari Lettinen.
You do not see that in today's... There's 2 things you don't see out of today's netminders. Pad stacks and split saves. This is an artful grab. Good rush chance originally by this line, and then they win the puck back again. Stars late in the shift, trying to get the people on, both defensemen on one side of the ice, hustling back to the front of their own net, and Gianta stares at that one as Kari stares it into his mitt.
Horkoff trying to attack. Veroni dragging on him in the slot. He'll pitch it back out to Demers for a drive blocked by the aforementioned Veroni. Delorier ripped it out to Hodgson in stride at the Dallas line. Jordy Benn hits the man in the corner. Hodgson bounces off the hit. Veroni locked up by Demers and Jordy Benn. Zadorov tips it back out. Delorier from the line, whipped it around the boards. Lazaros hauling down the wing, and Demers away from the pressure. Benn dodging the hit from Delorier, who turned it over, centers it. Schaller backhander, save Lettinen. Zadorov centered it, tipped, save Lettinen on Dalpe's bid, and a pile up in front, a goal line stand for Kari Lettinen.
Couple spasms of attack out of the Buffalo Sabres here. Schaller with a good whack in tight. That's hard first man pressure right there, originally by Delorier. They win the puck, they get it to the front of the net, and then they bash, hack, and cram away at a good look from our Foggy Cam down low. Just about twister. It looked like it might have went off the arm of Delorier originally in front of the net.
Delorier leads the Sabres with 232 hits this season.
He's played every game for them this year. God bless him.
Oh, yeah, huh? The puck rattles around behind the net. Sevier working it out, spinning it toward the goal. Strachan puts his frame in the way, pivots away from Vern Fiddler, takes a look at Benoit, and then passes him the puck. Now, it's been a rough year. 20 wins, only 12 regulation or overtime victories for the Sabres, who are about to go on the power play.
You're in there every night, having to taste that. Seavier's going to argue this one in neutral ice, and it looked illegal, even if it wasn't. I think that's why he's headed off. He reaches for the puck, the player goes down. It's not really tripping. They clock skates in neutral ice. Pretty iffy. Stars had both power plays in the opening frame. Now we see the Sabres get at it. Their best guy by a mile is Ennis in this scenario.
He's got 6 power play goals. The rest of their available roster tonight have a total of 8. Tyler Ennis with the puck. Ristolainen shot blocked by Jamie Benn, cleared by Cody Eakin.
Sure whether Jamie Benn wears those clear protectors on his skate or not. Most guys do nowadays, especially if you kill penalties. And Ristolainen can bring the noise.
If he doesn't, he might. Ennis centers it. Lettinen got over to deny Molson's bid. He was cutting to the net. Now a shot, and Lettinen scrambling in front. Still loose. It's dribbling off of his pads, and with a skate on each post, he's able to keep it out.
He's grown in there, Kari Lettinen. There's been a lot of this cram and hack stuff, and he's kept them at bay. That hard shot from distance, boom, right off the outside of the right skate on the Stars captain. Good puck movement, back door. They hustle after it again. Win a puck down deep, sharp angle chance. Molson's at the end of the stick, though, and that's a good spot for him to be. He's tore the Stars apart in that category in past.
There's a puck launched out of play from Jason Demers, but it hits a spot in the boards. There's no penalty for delay of the game.
Get through this one and get back to their game a little bit. They're taking on some water here in the early portion of the second period. Shots are back to even now.
8-0 in the second period in favor of Buffalo. Ristolainen from the line. Molson challenged by Roussel. Ristolainen moved it swiftly. Ennis plays it down. Ristolainen straight away, drops it to Molson. Down deep. Oh, Gianta was waiting for that pass across from Larson. It comes to the line and out.
Ennis is mad. He wanted Ristolainen to be more aggressive at the blue line there and keep it in.
Ennis sneaking his way in. Molson firing up, and he missed the net.
Might have went off Jordy Benn.
Ristolainen putting it deep. Ennis trying to tame the puck. Jordy Benn has it toppled in the corner.
One-chaired him.
Yeah. He's literally on his own helmet. Suicide scrum. Puck knocked to Ennis. Tried to center it. Now goes back to the net. Molson took a whack at the puck. Demers taps it along the boards. Larson shouldered off the play, and Fiddler will carry it ahead. They'll come to the line with Eakin. Fiddler cutting to his left. Fiddler shooting, and that's blocked by Gianta, out of play.
KG play by Gianta to stick with him late in that rotation. Good work by Ennis. Pretty gutty night for him. Bring it back in again. See whether this one goes off Jordy Benn. He's behind. Oh, he shot it wide. Boy, they've had some looks, though. A boatload of them here. Leaned on that one. You can see it flutter off the stick blade of Matt Molson.
12 seconds, and the Stars get Colton Sevier back.
They survived that sort of semi-phantom penalty neutral ice. Benn's left foot is okay, apparently.
Yeah, makes a steal at the line. They'll take it out. Sevier comes back on the ice. Benn gets away from Hudson, fires it around the boards. Molino kicked it into the corner, and then the puck comes back out ahead. Veroni goes rink wide. Hodgson backhanding it in. Lettinen leaves it for Nemeth. Trying to get away from the pressure. Klingberg has to hustle back after the puck. Spots Nemeth. Benn backhands it out to center ice. Sagan looking for it with Strachan in front of the Dallas bench. He passes it across the ice. Klingberg hurrying to get over here. Polino kicked it ahead. And then it's knocked in front of the Buffalo bench to Hodgson, who throws it in on his way for the change. Nemeth to Klingberg behind the Dallas line. And here comes Johnny out of his own zone. Evades two Sabres. Long pass ahead to Hemsky. He'll take it on in. Hemsky shooting it. Then back to stop.
Good play by Eakin to drive their defense and open up that space for Hemsky.
Zadorov to Ellis. Ahead at center ice. Valpy brought it over. Jokipaka shot it out. They got Hemsky breaking clear just off of his stick.
Needs a longer stick.
Hemsky went plowing into Lindback.
Yeah, he hit him.
Back of the net. And the puck thrust out of there.
I think that should be allowed if they're going to go out and play it. Nobody agrees with me, especially the goalie unit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Here's Spezza winding his way in. Shot it from the angle, and Lindback made the stop. Jokipaka from the boards. Deep, Hemsky lets it go. Goligoski, the hit from Zadorov. Spezza trying to wrestle it free from Larson. Valpy unable to escape as he ran into Ritchie. McKenzie was shrouding Larson. And McKenzie at center ice. Larson out-battles him for the puck. In he comes. Larson passes off. And the Stars are there to break it up, and they've got some Sabres trapped. Horkoff into the Buffalo zone. Across to Ritchie. He shoots it. That's blocked by Weber. He put it back to the net for McKenzie. Out to Horkoff. Stopped it with the skate. Ritchie, Horkoff looking for the puck. Here's Demers. Passing it over to Jordy Ben. He'll put it down. Snap it down to Horkoff. Centering. That goes wide. Jordy Ben from the wing. Working it toward the back of the net. Tied up with Ristolainen. Puck comes free and the Sabres clear.
Tired Sabres on the ice. They're going to get a partial change in. Big hit by McKenzie. The tail end of all that. Another good shift by that crew.
Demers throws it ahead. Jamie Benn fired it. Saved by Lindback. It's Benn back to the net. Trying to center it out front. Foligno put it up the boards. And Eaves took it away from Larson to Benn. Benn. Ooh, Benn shot it off the post. He tiptoed away from the treble and then ripped it off the iron. He fires again. This time Lindback catches it.
He did a hat dance around the puck and then cranked it.
It's fun to watch. 1-1 for the Stars and the Sabres nearing the midway point of the game in Dallas.
Hemsky gets a couple good looks, though. First one off the forehead of Lindback. Just about on a breakaway chance. Decides to run the pile, if you will. I'm pretty sure 6'6" Anders Lindback can handle that. And then the hat dance for Jamie Benn.
1-1 game. Here's Klingberg stepping away from Strachan, feeding it to Nemeth for a shot that's blocked. Roussel trying to reach it. Puck comes out to center ice. Vern Fiddler bounced away from him. Foligno takes it over and shoots it in. Lettinen back of the net. Grigorenko left it. Shot from Gianta and a save Lettinen.
Some miscue by the Stars in behind the net there. They get outpaced. The Sabres, I've been impressed by how they just advance the puck. They get it, advance it up. It's a pure north game. They get it up. This is a little wraparound in behind. Obviously, Klingberg didn't think his goaltender was going to cut it off. And as he peeled off to the corner to go get it, the Sabres got interior and just about thrust a tricky one past Kari Lettinen.
Faceoff will come to Kari's left. Lazaros off the faceoff win. Klingberg is still trying to find it in the corner. Delorier, Hodgson, Baroni up front for Buffalo. Nemeth with the pass ahead. Spezza breaks loose with it. He's got Hemsky with him on a 2-on-1. Spezza to Hemsky. A shot. He missed the net. Jokipaka back for the puck. Flanked it around the glass. It stays in, though. Hodgson firing high and wide. Behind the Dallas net. Puck battle. Hemsky gave it to Spezza. Ahead to Eakin. Now to Jokipaka at the line. Jokipaka with some room. Passed it away from Spezza. Goligoski backing it up. Eakin chased to the line by Delorier, and then he ran into Mazzaros. Worked it deep. Goligoski flung it across. There's Seguin, but he's checked.
Stars about changed them here. The short change of the second.
Stars are good at this. Eaves pressuring. Jamie Benn kicked it to the corner, then took a pretty good hit from Zadorov. Swept it back out to Jordy. Now to Demers. shot it, and Lindback reaching to his left as Eves was dumped in front.
Well, the genesis of a 2-on-1, and a lot of times it's a pinch and a forward that doesn't pick things up. Great chance again for Hemsky. Baroni is the forward, it's him up top, and as Mazzaros pinches in along the boards, he gets twisted out of there. Spezza spins off of him, and away they go in transition. Boy, a lot of open space, changed the point of attack, and just chunked it wide on the back door.
Eves wins the faceoff for Seguin. Put it back to Demers to Benn back of the net. Ristolainen trying to stay with the Dallas captain. Plowed out of the corner to Demers. Shot it over to Jordy Benn, but out to center ice. Zach Dalpe chasing Jordy Benn. Whipped it up. Stars are changing, and they get caught with too many men.
That's a tough one. Puck hit Ritchie right in the skate blade.
Midway through the game, Stars and the Sabres are tied at 1, and Buffalo goes on the power play next.
Getting healthier by the day around here, and Trevor Daley back on his skates again. A knee injury, was hit by Matt Martin in that game against the New York Islanders. Been about, 3 weeks? Missed 9 games. 11 goals here at home, is still second to Seguin, by the way. And a key guy on their power play. The individual has really picked things up in the absence of Trevor Daley has been Alex Goligoski. 2 goals and 7 points in the 8 games that Trevor's been out. Pretty impressive. They've been able to sop things up on the blue line with Trevor not available. He's having a career year, or have been. Hopefully he can get back in here in the next couple of weeks.
Alex has played in every game for the Stars this season. Just him and Benn and Spezza have done that. And this is a delay of game penalty against the Stars. Brett Ritchie is serving it. Second power play of the game for the Special Teams Challenge Buffalo Sabres in a 1-1 contest. Larson buried by Jokipaka. He works the puck around. Goligoski on his backhand flicks it up, and there goes Fiddler and Roussel. Maybe something going here. Short-handed. Fiddler working it in. Backhand shot, save Lindback. Stars have 9 short-handed goals this season. Vern Fiddler's got 1.
Sabres give up a few, too.
Yeah. Giving up 8. Larson dusting it off, getting it back from Molson to Ristolainen at the line, over to Ennis. Send it all the way across. Shot, loose, score, tipped in front as Larson threw it at the net, and the Sabres retake the lead. It's 2-1.
This one trailed in. It either went in off Jason Demers' leg, somebody's leg right in front. That seam, though, should probably not be there up top where Ennis pipes this through. Steps down, little half fake slapper. They change the point of attack. It creates that open space. Little wrist shot from that side. And that hit 3 legs. It hit 3 legs. Molson, Gianta, Demers. And not much chance for Kari Lehtinen on that one. I'm not sure they're going to give it to. The shooter was Larson, was it not?
Yes.
Wow.
Will either be Molson or Gianta upon forensic review. Gianta, it's his 2nd of the game and 9th of the season. If it's Molson's, it's his 12th. But it's 2-1 Buffalo nonetheless. Power play goal for the Sabres. Jamie Benn out there trying to get it back for Seguin and Eves. Klingberg from center ice. Passing ahead, Seguin takes it from Eves. Moving in, Seguin shot it, blocked by Strachan. Benoit up the boards. Klingberg keeping it in. He turned his skates. Klingberg probing there with Foligno. Benn taken off. Bouldering Benoit back of the net. Dalpe couldn't flip it past Eve, who swats it, but right to Benoit. Grigorenko into the Dallas zone. Tried to buck away. Eves takes over the puck, shoots it ahead. Eakin stretches out for it at the line, gave it to Seguin. Seguin crowded, looking for help on the change. Into the middle for Hemsky. A shot caught off in front by Lindback.
You got about 35% of that one. Rolling puck in the high slot. Stars have again outchanged the Sabres.
Jokipaka at his own line. Buffalo trying to get another change in or two here. Eakin over to Hemsky. Back to Eakin. A shot. That's blocked. One off Mazzaros. Hodgson spit it out to center ice. Goligoski lays it forward. Spezza tripped up as he tried to come into the zone. But Zadorov didn't get all of them. Baroni flings it ahead. Hodgson to the Dallas line. Shot it back to the net. Kari Lehtinen off the high glass to the line, and it skips past Ristolainen. Spezza bearing down on him. Spezza found the puck. Hemsky scraped it off the boards. He'll play it to Spezza. Spezza in front to Demers, and he was blocked out. Weber had him. Delorier now taking the Dallas line, swinging left, shooting. Lehtinen makes the stop in the center of his chest.
A little up and down. I don't know that the Sabres can hang with the Stars if they get the track meet going. You could see that as they hustled to get back into their own zone when Spezza was chugging up the left wing side. In an odd game. They've worked hard. They've played well as a team. The Stars have had their opportunities, and very reminiscent of the second period against the Hawks here the other night when they had all those chances and were really unclean with that. Didn't cost them because they didn't give anything up at the other end, but they've surrendered to her and trailing in this one.
Face up in the Dallas zone. Horkoff wins this. Larson threw it in front, and Letnin's goal stick was quicker than Tyler Innes's.
This is the last game the Stars will play against the Eastern Conference this year, and they have been able to drum the East. 9-1-1 in their last 11. Well, last year they finished with the worst record of any Western Conference team against the East. And this year they're annihilating them.
Stars are really good against everybody except their own division.
Good point.
That's the problem.
Good point.
Ritchie blasting it just wide of the net. Nemeth held it in. McKenzie trying to wrestle it away from Mazzaros. It's a little help from Nemeth to Ritchie in the corner. Ritchie plowing to the front. Shot it. Saved Lindback. Loose back of the net. Mazzaros with the puck. Lindback getting to his feet. Klingberg dropped the gloves to keep it into the line and then was stripped by Molson. Larson chested it forward. Zadorov from center ice skipping it in on Lehtinen, and he'll leave it for Patrick Nemeth. Sabres lead the game 2-1. They have never trailed. First came back to tie it at 1. J.B. Benn has the Dallas goal, and now he's in search of the puck again. That's whipped around. Seguin to Benn, back of the net. Strachan is there ahead of all others. Call it out. Schaller threw it in. Shot from Dalby, blocked by Jokipaka. Schaller whipped it back out. Ristolainen at the right point. Moves to his left. Dusts it off. Passes off. Schaller shot it. Pad stop. Lehtinen. Jokipaka. Lobbing it to center ice. Benn caught it at the line. He'll move it into Seguin. Seguin shooting. That's blocked by Weber. Goligoski off the boards. Over the top of the net. Ristolainen in trouble with Seguin. Seguin tripping Grigorenko. And then try to pass to Sevier that's intercepted. Ellis comes to center ice and tosses it in. Dallas with the puck in full control. It's Jyrki Jokipaka. On the wing to Roussel. He'll take it over. Shot it at the net. Dies and enters Lindback's glove. 5:01 remaining in the second period. Lindback and the Sabres ahead of the Stars. 2-1 in Dallas.
5 minutes to go in the second frame. 2-1 Buffalo here at American Airlines Center. Join the Dallas Stars and Bud Light for a Stars night out. Enter for your chance to win 4 tickets to a Stars game, plus great experiences, including a behind-the-scenes look at the Stars broadcast. Some people are getting that just down from us here tonight. To enter, visit DallasStars.com/nightout.
Always good to have visitors. They're always impressed when they go down to the truck. Jordy Ben shot that off the side of the net. Circling again, firing, blocked by a cacophony of sticks in front of the net. And Benoit caught at the Dallas line. Sevier turning it forward. Fiddler bearing down, shooting it. That's blocked by Strachan. Sevier pumped it around to Fiddler in the corner. Got Gianta to deal with. Roussel fired it. That's blocked by Strachan's skate. And it's played ahead by Foligno to the Dallas line. Gianta centering it toward Grigorenko. Foligno chopped away from the puck. There goes Roussel flying to the Buffalo line. Leaving it for Spezza. It's through his skates, but he twists it in deep. And Ristolainen has the puck for the Sabres. Spezza forcing him to turn back. Mike Weber up ahead. Giunta turns his stick over and knocks it in. John Klingberg, here he comes, passing to Hemsky, dancing forward. Hemsky takes the line, kicked it off, shot from Spezza, swallowed by Anders Lindback.
Well, you can see what the Stars are dealing with, and the Sabres have played well. I mean, in their team game on the road, they've been tight. But it's a 1-4 in neutral ice, right? So you have your 1-4 checker up front, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So, you know, it's a defensive posture. They're telling the Stars you're going to have to earn your way through. They did with some breezy skating from Hemsky. They get that bomb.
Eakin got one off the face-off win. And now he steals a puck in the zone. Hemsky stick handling away, curling. Hemsky all the way over to Spezza in the corner. He dives to keep the play alive for Dallas. Nemeth shooting, bouncing in the slot. Hemsky dragging for it. Spezza shot it to save Lindback.
Wow, how about that giveaway?
Eakin toward Hemsky. Firing. Lindback got down on that one too. Nemeth tossing it out to Eakin, who's covering at the line. Now to Klingberg. Through the coverage, finds Eakin. Shoved it towards Spezza, who couldn't pull it off the goaltender's pads. But Hemsky, the Stars running around in the Buffalo zone. Spezza tried to bank that in off of Lindback's back. Spezza has it again, curling around. He misses the net. And finally, Delorier feeds it out to center ice.
Well, you can see in that shift what they're trying to do. A lot of shots have been blocked in the second period. They're trying to plow around the Buffalo Sabres and work from the edges. Just about clicked.
Jamie Benn to Tyler Seguin. Mazzaro's waiting for it outside the line. He'll fire it right back in with 2:45 left in the second. That's 26-23 Dallas. The Sabres have outshot the opponent only 6 times this season in 72 games. They were actually outshot when they beat the Stars February 7th in Buffalo.
By a large margin.
Jonas Enroth made 38 saves. A few days later, the Stars traded for Jonas Enroth. Jamie Benn dumped in the Dallas zone. Alex Goligoski with the puck. Looks up the ice, finds Jokipaka. He'll take it over. And inadvertently leave it, or Ellis can push it out. Stars are changing. This puck hits McKenzie at the Dallas bench, and the whistle blows.
They can't call that. Roussel was not on the ice yet. I don't think it's going to be a penalty. The illegal substitution portion of it.
I nailed that one.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, way to go.
Yeah, very well done.
Quite a shift earlier in the Sabres end of things when they had them on the run, and they've had the Sabres on the run for a little bit here in the second period, but they're not accumulating anything. Spezza front and center on that.
It's the 14th appearance all-time for the Sabres in Dallas. The Stars are 9-3-1 regular season record. They met the playoffs long ago. Ennis shoveling it over to Weber. He'll come to center ice and fire it in. Letman stopped it. Moved it to Demers. Absorbs the hit in the corner from Molson. Sevier hauls it up and to the Buffalo line. Pitching it to Roussel. Antoine firing. Save Lindback. Rebound loose. Fiddler backhanded it wide. Sevier after the puck. To Fiddler into the corner. Looking out at Jordy Benn. Passing back to Fiddler. Scuffed it along to Sevier. Forcing it into the corner, and now Roussel back in the net. Took it away from the line and centered it for Sevier. Weber flipped it up to the line. Demers kept it in, but Ennis escapes with the puck, and he'll flip it over Klingberg. He gloves it down, and Letman helped him out. Roussel with a pass to Demers. A minute remaining in the second period. Horcoff down the boards for Ritchie. Charging hard with Benoit, who goes down on top of the puck. Foligno and McKenzie wrestling for it. Ritchie had it come free. McKenzie, it goes to Klingberg. Wade shoots it, blocked by Grigorenko. And then dispatched toward Foligno at the Dallas line. Nemeth gets there first. Leaves it for Klingberg. Half a minute remaining in the period, and Klingberg up the middle. Looking for something at the line. Now Ritchie will chase it in the corner. Strachan works it up the far side. Cut off by McKenzie. McKenzie shooting. That deflects toward Horcoff, but he didn't see it in time. Klingberg trying to hold the line. Foligno bunts it out. 15 left in the period. Nemeth out of his own zone to Klingberg. They'll give it to McKenzie. Passing to Seguin at the line. Seguin moving in. Seguin shot it. It was blocked wide as the horn sounds.
Well, lots of good work. The guy who scores, it feels like all the time against the Stars, though, is the difference in this one through 40 minutes. They've given that goal to Molson. The Stars not getting rewarded for their hard work. They're going to have to be harder, it appears, at the net if they're going to get this thing tied in one.
Sabres come after him in the second period and regain their lead. Jamie Benn joins Julie at the break. 2-1 Buffalo through 2 in Dallas. 2-1 Buffalo leads Dallas as we head to the third. Horseshoes, hand grenades, and middle periods lately for the Dallas Stars Razor, who got close again but could not convert.
Well, that's true. They did a lot of good things in that second period, and they're getting to the net repeatedly in the game here tonight. Our AT&T U-verse rewind, go all the way back to late in the opening frame. It was Jamie Benn at the net front, tips a shot in, ties the game at 1. So they followed his lead in the second period repeatedly, getting to the crease area, getting to the net front, earning their position in front of the net, but they're not getting too many bounces, and they've been unable to convert on these mad scrambles, whack-a-moles, if you will, right in and around Anders Lindback, who's been a great big plug at the end of the rink.
Stars trying to gain ground in the Western Conference. It's very tough to do. Consider this, they've won 7 of their last 9 games, and they've picked up a single point in the playoff race. Stars are in off a set play. Yves shot it. It's blocked, sent around. Goligoski scrambling after it at the left point. Fired it. Blocked. Just wide of the net. Lindback didn't see it.
Going off his own defenseman, Ristolainen in front.
Molson two-handing it ahead. They changed the goal. They gave it to Gionta. That triple deflection in front of Kari Lehtinen. So he's got both Buffalo goals. And the Dallas captain, his counterpart, Jamie Benn, has scored for the Stars. Klingberg to Seguin out of the Dallas zone. Too high for Benn. McKenzie finding it, nudging it to Benn at the line. Benn moving in for a shot that's blocked. Benoit put it over the top of the net. Foligno back to pick it up for the Sabres. He'll backhand it ahead. Larson to Ennis, who turned it over. Spezza trying to work past Strachan, can't do it. And the puck is sent out of play here.
Boy, what a comedy of errors that was for the Sabres. Wow. Golden opportunity for the Stars here now. Read it in the eyes of Strachan. The Stars get this chance on just a wrister from the blue line. Goes off 55, Ristolainen, and just wide of the net. Good look here and just how close this game. Whee! Out the window. You know, Ennis did not want that puck when he got it, and then as Strachan was trying to get it out of the zone, he whacks it into the stands. You do that in behind your own blue line, it's delay of game.
Third power play of the game for Dallas. Seguin lost the puck. He had it all lined up and ready to go, but when he went to shoot, there was no puck. It drifted to center, and the Stars reorganized. 22-year-old John Klingberg working it down the boards and around the net. Weber shoved by Ritchie. Ristolainen kept it away. Foligno goes off the glass. It bounces to the line and then is chipped forward by Gionta. Lettinen's going to beat him to the puck. Fire it off to Klingberg, who's got to come back for it. And now he's tangling with Gionta, who has both Buffalo goals and is now creating havoc on this Dallas power play.
Played a heck of a game.
Benn escapes. Takes it in, bunts it off. Spezza found it, gave it to Seguin. Seguin stops back out to Goligoski. They have it stacked up in front. Here's Tyler Seguin. Wanted to shoot it, passes off. Goligoski with a look. Seguin a blast. That's blocked, and Schaller can't get it past Goligoski. It stays into Benn. Benn shooting. He scores! Tied at 2.
Seen that goal before. The Sabres are just beating themselves here in the first 2 minutes of the third period. They get a heroic block initially and then turn it right back over again. Are on the outside. They give up a 2-on-1 essentially from the top of the circles in. Benn just takes the shot. He semi-fans on it, and Lindback makes a mess of it. Benn with a pair, Gionta with a pair. That goes off the instep of Lindback's pad and in.
Ben's 26th goal of the season on the power play. Dallas is 1 for 3 on the man advantage and icing against Buffalo, but Lettinen goes out to negate the icing. Jokipaka moves it along briskly to Sevier. Rink wide, and Horcoff will come back for it. Making the turn against Veroni, handing it to Patrick Nemeth. Nemeth partnered with Jokipaka here. Long pass ahead to the line. Horcoff rips it around behind. McKenzie in there to throw a hit on Mazzaros. Hodgson has it, and he'll flip it to the Dallas line. Jokipaka shot it back over. Hodgson taking the Dallas line. Delorier on his backhand toward the net, save Lettinen.
Well, this is the type of game where you really do need your power play to a little mucking in the aftermath of that. You need your power play when you're the more skilled team in the game to cash in. Really, both power plays have scored a goal. Both captains have scored all the goals. You look at the Stars' power play, it's crazy. I mean, they've moved into the top half of the NHL, which is wonderful. They came from a long way back. They went 11 for 19 in 4 games. At Winnipeg, at Tampa Bay, at Washington, and here the other night against Chicago. And that is equated to a 3% rise, a full 3% rise in their power play percentage in just 4 games. And there's confidence in there, too.
We get one here tonight. Molson's bid foiled. Out comes Fiddler, and he's got allies. Roussel and Hemsky join him at the line. Fiddler pumps it, save Lindback. Rebound loose and tapped away by Strachan. The guy who shot the puck out of play, putting Dallas on the power play on which they would tie the game.
Really, though, it was a turnover that created the spot that Strachan was in, and then it was a turnover in their own zone after the block that resulted in the goal against.
Hemsky stripping Benoit, taking it around behind the net. Hemsky protecting the puck, circling out to the high slot. Hemsky weaving his way away from Ennis. Hemsky shooting, and that's blocked by Benoit. Goes back to the net. Whipped around. Goligoski finds it. Hard pass to Klingberg. Into the corner. Hemsky tried to go upstairs, and he misses the net. Out to center ice it comes.
He's had 3 good chances. I mean, golden looks, and hasn't been able to find the net.
Here's Klingberg. He lost Gianta. Seguin firing wide. Ben shooting. And that ricochets out to center. Klingberg will go back and get it. Alex Goligoski with that assist. That's his 30th assist of the season. 3rd time in his career he's hit the 30 assist plateau. Career high 36 last year. He's got 9 games left after tonight. Jokipaka gets that over. Eaves is in pursuit. Ristolainen passes off, and Gianta lays it over to Weber. And he'll hinge it back. Rasmus Ristolainen, the young Finn. Over to Weber. Rink wide off Foligno to Gianta, carrying it across the line. Nemeth poked it away and then guides it back to the net for Hemsky.
But Patrick Nemeth's really good at holding that blue line. You know, he just holds it long enough to force mistakes.
Icing call here against Dallas. Family night has never been more fun thanks to the Dr. Pepper Family Pack. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 Dr. Peppers, all for about the same as it costs to do dinner in the movie. It's pretty good, huh? Get your Dr. Pepper Family Pack today at DallasStars.com/specials. Spezza wins another face-off. Delorier goes hammering away at Jokipaka. Puck loose at the side of the net. Spezza picks it off, gives it to Hemsky. There's Nemeth. Took the hit from Delorier at center, installs the puck, but Stars are offside.
Stars look like they're back on their game a little bit here to start the 3rd period. They've been able to lean on the Sabres a little bit, turn it up a notch. Well, this for 3rd periods for Buffalo. They haven't been great in any period, but they've been outshot by 350 in the 3rd. But they've only allowed, if you tag on that one too, they've only allowed 3 more 3rd period goals than the Stars have allowed this year, which is insane.
Stars looking for another here. Hemsky. Demers was driving the slot. He's forced to the boards. Trying to work away from Molson. Spezza back of the net. Spins away. Spezza centers to Hemsky. His stick was tied up. Demers looking for a lane, couldn't find one. Puts it back in the net for Spezza. Strachan stick checks it away. Flipped it along to Molson. Demers there challenging for Dallas. And Larson up with the puck. Young Swede crossing over, taking the Dallas line. Backhanding it through. Lettinen got it over, and back to the net, the battle. Foligno. That puck died off Jordy Ben in front. Kari wasn't sure where it was, and Jordy Ben has the puck in a 2-2 game. 14 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the third. That's 29-24 Dallas. Stars trying to stay in the hunt. Here comes Brett Ritchie. Chucked it into the corner for Horkoff. One of the Sabres went down. It was Ristolainen and under pressure from the Stars, so there's a penalty against Dallas. It's a delayed call, and that puck almost went in the net. Wow.
Went off of Horkoff's stick, but there was no possession.
Oh, man.
Oh, Lord. It would have been mammoth guh from Weber.
Well, tonight, you have to have a C on your chest if you want to score. Brian Gionta has scored twice for Buffalo. Jamie Benn twice for the Stars. We're tied.
Somebody to talk to about that situation. They just survived in their own zone as he tried to go across the front of their own net after Lindback had headed to the bench. There's going to be a penalty on Ritchie. He goes back in front. It goes off the shaft of the stick of Horkoff and off the post. There's the penalty in the corner as Ritchie folded big Ristolainen. It's an interesting play. You're supposed to, they don't call it until there's possession from the defending team. It just hit the stick. It would have been the first, I think, I've ever seen where you score on the delayed penalty as the other team when you touched it, because usually when that happens is when the team that's going on the power play shoots it into their own net.
All right, so third power play of the game for Buffalo. They are 1 for 2. Cross-checking the call on Ritchie, and the Stars get the puck. Jokipaka clears. Lindback leaves it. And here comes Rasmus Ristolainen with a pass ahead at center ice. Ennis fighting the puck. They got to go back and regroup. The Sabres now, despite ranking 30th, have a power play goal in 4 of their last 5 games, including tonight. Larson looking for another save. Lettinen rebound, and Kari's got the puck, although he looked defeated.
Boy, Molson can't believe it at the net. Sabres were able to just sashay their way in. He's shaking his head. Jokipaka trying to hold the line, got caught, should have been in retreat. The original shot produces a rebound, and man, that fell perfectly back for Kari. Backdoor rattled around off of Goligoski and into the paraphernalia. Wow.
Cody Eakin wins the faceoff. Jordy Ben shoots the puck the length of the ice.
The Sabres, that power play goal they scored back in the second period, just their second ever at American Airlines Center. Haven't been here all that much, but
take the Dallas line here. Larson boxed in. Grigorenko lost the puck. Larson has it back of the net. Sends it out to Ennis, who had to go to one knee to keep it in the zone. Larson thrusting it out. Ristolainen to Ennis, has a step on Cody Eakin, and then he forces him to turn back. Eakin does, and Eakin swats the puck off his stick and down the ice. Stars get Ritchie back in 40 seconds. Ristolainen breezing his way into the Dallas zone. Ennis pushing it out to the line, chip, and Sevier can't go with it.
That was easily read by the Stars. You could see that drop pass coming all the way into the zone.
Foligno dodging his way in. Goligoski takes the man. Sevier looking for the puck. Hodgson found it, gave it to Nemeth. Down the ice it goes. 10 left on the Buffalo power play. Under 12 minutes to play in a 2-2 game at American Airlines Center. Sabres are in. Baroni puts it back in the net. Jordy Ben whips it around the boards and out, and that'll do it. Stars with an important third period kill here.
Well, they got away with that one crazy play at the net. That was it.
Demers quicker to the puck than Hodgson, and he'll start the attack back. Spezza taking the line. Spezza working it over to Seguin. Shot it wide of the net.
I like this Spezza and Seguin coming out of a penalty kill. They don't kill.
With Roussel, Goligoski shot blocked by Schaller in front. Spezza poking at it. And Lindback plays it on to Hodgson. Pass toward a changing Dallas bench. Eves firing in, firing the puck. Save Lindback. Back of the net, Zadorov lost it. Comes up the slot, but right to Ellis, he clears.
And the problem you have if they don't hit the ice like that and you start resetting your lines is you have one of the two don't hit the ice for a while, a long while.
Klingberg just missing Spezza at the line. That's icing against Dallas.
Take off back to their own zone and try to control things there. It's been a funny game. It's been fairly entertaining in spurts, and you got to applaud the work ethic of the Buffalo Sabres. The Stars, I don't think, have been as crisp as we've seen over the last few weeks with their puck movement and their play.
Come up with this puck here. Seguin flipped it to center ice. Dallas looking for a change. Weber handing it over. Ristolainen passing it forward. Grigorenko denied entry by Nemeth at the line.
Again.
There goes Jokipaka storming across the Buffalo blue line. Had a stick chipped away. Horcoff peers over his shoulder and then tried it into the corner. Blocks Grigorenko's clearing attempt. Ristolainen goes to Weber. Up the boards. Foligno lost it. McKenzie took it away. And then Ritchie chipped it into the near corner. Ristolainen getting there ahead of Horcoff. Floating it to the Dallas line for Foligno. Turning away from Jokipaka. Ripped it wide. Gionta covered in the corner. Stars Horcoff will pick it up. And here they come. 3-on-3 at the line. McKenzie down the wing. McKenzie centered edge. And Ritchie couldn't quite convert. Sprawled out his Lindback. It's still loose at the side of the net. Stars trying to dig it out. Horcoff muscles it over to the far side. Demers is over there. McKenzie in a shoving match with Strachan. And now Gionta sneaks under him to get the puck. McKenzie finishes his hit, and Molson clears it to the Dallas line.
I don't think I've seen as much anarchy at both nets as we've witnessed it throughout the game here tonight.
It was crazy. Molson chased back and then turned it over to Seguin. He'll take it across. Seguin threw it back of the net. Ben has the puck. Ben, Seguin shot it up high. Goligoski lost it. Ennis slips past him. Klingberg trying to pick him up. Ennis a shot. He hit the crossbar. And then it dies. They score.
Oh, wow. Oh, my. Black cloud.
Straight up in the air, right back down. Molson's close, and it's 3-2 Buffalo.
How about that? The other end. Goldmouth scramble. The puck's lying there. There's space between the left toe and the post on Lindback. Stars can't get to the puck, though. Then a little speed play. Tyler Ennis scoots around both defenders, chips it off the crossbar. Who else? Matt Molson. He got denied on that wacky one earlier. This time he chunks it in. Little pat from Goligoski, the veteran, to Klingberg. They dropped that puck, but I think they're waiting for the go-ahead from Toronto where they review all the goals. Another look at it. Off the crossbar. Jumped in. Goal.
The Molson's 12th from Tyler Ennis. And the Sabres, who have never trailed, have another one-goal lead. Fiddler to Roussel. Good time for him to get back on the sheet. Antoine against Strachan, wrapping around. Couldn't quite make it. But he worked the puck to Jokipaka. And Delorier twisting. Fiddler flipped it in front, backhanded toward the net, but wide by Sevier. Ellis to the line, Nemeth holding it in. Sevier ripped it to the wall. Strachan played it across, and Delorier will take it to center ice and ship it over. 8.5 left in the third. 3-2 Buffalo. That was the score by which the Sabres beat Dallas in Buffalo earlier this year. Goligoski trying to hold the line. It slips past him. Foligno with Gionta. Foligno to Gionta. Eakin stayed with it.
Unbelievable hustle by Cody Eakin to get back.
Lebanon forced to make a stop on Gionta, who bunts it into the middle, and Spezza Turns the attack forward for Dallas. Angling to his right, takes the Buffalo line with a pass to Eakin. Eakin to Goligoski. It got through him, and Klingberg has to chase the puck to center. Klingberg right back in, shot it deep. Lindback, back of his net. Up the boards, Eves shot it wide. And Foligno will wait a second. Fired across to Weber. Snaps it up to Ennis. Great pass. Good catch. He hops. He shoots. And a save there from Lettinen.
I just think he's phenomenal.
Stars with a quick up to Ben. Ben takes the line to Seguin. A shot. He's scored.
He's not bad either.
No. 3-3.
Stars changing. Ennis in behind. Reverses the defense, but gets repelled by Kari Lettinen. Stars hit the late man again. Jamie Benn buys some time. Lindback never got off the blocks. Seguin comes in, and it's how quickly he releases that. And this game's all locked up again. Exuberance out of Tyler Seguin. That's vintage Ben Seguin. Boy, the top-end guys have counterpunched one another in the game here tonight.
Bionta twice and Molson for Buffalo. Ben twice and Seguin for Dallas. Every Buffalo lead has been answered. Tyler Seguin's 34th from Jamie Benn. And the Stars have it tied with 7:15 to play in the third. Jordy takes it deep. Centered it off Lindback. Rebound. Horkoff right into Anders Lindback. 7:08 to play in the third period. Stars and the Sabres are tied at 3. Tyler Seguin's goal.
7 and change to go here in regulation at American Airlines Center. The latest tally men, Tyler Seguin, it's just his second even-strength goal since coming back from the knee injury. And Matt Molson, who else? 8 goals in the last 9 games against Dallas for Molson. Some of those with the Islanders, most of those with the Islanders. John Tavares, pretty good player.
Klingberg rescued the puck off the boards. There's a fallen stick on the ice. It's Ristolainen. Goligoski puts it back to the net. Ristolainen has his stick. He's going to work with Weber on Eves. Eves escapes, only to find Ristolainen again, who kicks it right to Seguin, and it's punched out off Klingberg to center ice. Seguin, just offside at the line.
Stars are really good at that type of play. The angle was too severe with this one. Usually when it's a longer pass, they use the boards well with their outlets, and the forwards will catch it off the boards and twist around defensemen with that. This one more cross ice. Goligoski looks, he knows he's got Seguin going, whips it 80 feet the other direction, tries to pick it off, but got ahead of it. A 3-3 game. How many games have there been this year where there's been 6 goals scored like this? There are all kinds of them.
Yeah. This team's always exciting. Klingberg takes a look. Wrenched it over to Eakin. Held it in at the line. Spezza. Goligoski, a shot dies in Anders Lindback's glove.
Well, Lindback has not allowed more than 3 goals in his short tenure with the Buffalo Sabres. He had a tough time holding the other team to 4 when he was with the Stars. Really refound himself. He's a likable guy, great personality, terrific work ethic. He's working with Archie Urbe now.
Yes.
Our old buddy Archie.
Who says the goaltenders are the minesweepers. Eakin shooting wide of the net. Tough business. Out it goes, and Cody Eakin will chase it down. 6 minutes to play. Jason Demers got that pass ahead. It angled off Hemsky to Eakin, who follows it up, fights the puck, but got it over. Stays with the play. Eakin passes to Spezza. Shot and a save from Anders Lindback. The puck's loose behind him after the whistle.
Boy, the little ginger Eakin's having another night here tonight. Been great.
5:56 to play in the third. Hang in there. This is a good one. 3-3 for the Stars and the Sabres.
6 minutes to go in regulation. 3-3 Stars and Sabres. Tough to argue that there has been a better player in the game tonight than the Stars captain, Jamie Benn. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. We'll pop a top just for him. He did that early on, physically got into it. Some other guys followed in that regard. He's pumped a lot of rubber at Lindback. Tied a career high with 8 shots in the game, and he's hit a crossbar. He's also found the back of the net a couple of times. Late first period, and again here in the third. Just his overall game. The thing that's impressed me lately with him is that he seems to be hanging on to the puck a lot more and using that reach, the strength. The third period goal, a wicked blast from inside. Primary setup on Sagan's tying goal here just minutes ago. So he's in the conversation with Crosby and Ovechkin in the scoring race in the NHL.
4 points back of Crosby now for the 3-point night tonight. Going down under the puck, over the puck. And Gianta finds Grigorenko at the Dallas line. Nowhere to go with it, puts it back in the net for Foligno. Klingberg riding into the corner. Foligno trying to lose him, couldn't. Sagan up ahead off Yves to Benn. Benn to the line, tipped it on to Goligoski. Shooting it, saved Lindback, back of the net. Goligoski stays with it, dropped it for Sagan. He gets help from Sevier. It pushed it deeper to Benn. Benn upended. Sevier bolting after the puck, but it's at center ice.
Sabres have turned a lot of pucks over, especially in their own zone as this game has moved along. People Stars can capitalize on something.
Here's Fiddler back of the net. Fiddler spins, fires, and it's blocked off. Gianta cradling it out to center ice. Nemeth using his chest, trying to keep Larson away. He did. Roussel makes the turn. Punched it down the boards. Sevier from the wing, shooting it. Hit a skate, went wide, and climbs out to center ice. Molson taking over to Ennis. He overskates the puck at the line. The Sabres are offside.
I don't know why they blew it. Yeah, he lost the puck. A panic whistle out of the guys in stripes. It was the same play that Sagan had going the other direction. And Patrick Nemeth's been really good here again tonight. He's so good at holding the lines, the attack blue line or his own blue line. There he is again. Just stays right up in the grill of oncoming forwards and wins those battles physically.
They changed the goal to Patrick Eves in the building. Sagan shot appeared to glance off of Patrick. Jordy Benn back of the net. In the Dallas zone, a scramble for the puck. Delorier shoving Jordy Benn. Horcoff slipped in there to send it out to Ritchie. We'll chip it on in and icing against Dallas.
Take one more step. Get that center stripe, especially late in the period. Well, we have the ballistics on that Eves goal now. That's him standing in front of the net, goes off the hip of his pant and past a screen Anders Lindback. So a goal and a helper the other night, and a biggie here in the third tonight.
His goal was the game winner against Chicago. He became the 15th star with a game winner this season. That's a lot.
Well, look at the number of them just in the month of March.
Ritchie threw a good hit on Ristolainen. Puck launched into the Dallas zone. Another hero tonight. Cody Eakin taking it over the line. Eakin handing it off. Hemsky wanted to go to Spezza. Gianta blocked it. Klingberg circling, firing. Doesn't get to the net. Spezza picked it up. Angled it back toward Hemsky. Shot from Eakin, blocked off by Lindback. Cody Eakin again, finding Hemsky. Tossing it out to Goligoski. Set it down. Passing to Hemsky, cutting to the slot. Hemsky flipped it over to Klingberg. Klingberg to Eakin. A shot is good. That's some kind of play all the way around.
Well, the Sabres, especially in their defense, look gassed. We're standing still. It's just a bright puck movement play, though. Spezza was the guy in front. He shoves off of Weber. They get an open lane. He's occupied down deep, backdoor. Lindback has surrendered 3 in the third. I think we've heard that before. The Stars have showcased their offensive abilities here once again.
Cody Eakin, career high 17th. He had 16 last year. Got it from Klingberg and Hemsky. And the Stars take their first lead of the game with 3 minutes to play. And Jamie Benn almost put Larson in the Dallas bench. And Benn is wincing on his way off. Seems to be favoring a leg. And he takes a seat and gets immediate attention. Puck scramble to the right of Letton's net. Molson has it. He'll feed Ennis. Shooting it. Flips wide. And up come the Stars. Seguin shooting it in. Lindback out. Play it around the boards. Jamie Benn is staying on the Dallas bench for the moment.
Dave Zeiss is looking feverishly at his leg. I think the concern is that he got cut.
Puck is deep. Zalpi hammered by Demers. Fiddler put it up past Ellis to center ice. Well, it's about winning the little races, doing the little things. Goligoski has the puck. Fiddler took a hit, got right back up. And it's cranked into the Dallas zone. This is icing against Buffalo with less than 2 minutes to play.
Jamie's in discomfort over there. Take a little burn to check it out. He's truly been Captain Fantastic here tonight. Watch the skate. You can see it come. Hey, whoa! That's how you get gelded. He was worried immediately about, and you know, this goes back to it's a bigger conversation about wearing Kevlar socks and shorts underneath your gear because of skate cuts.
Eakin flips this out of play. Patrick Nemeth now has gone almost full Kevlar. Jamie Benn appears to be relieved on the Dallas bench.
I don't remember him having a victory green mouth guard, but he does now. You can pick that up a long way away. Fortunate, maybe. That's frightening. Frightening on a couple different levels. He's not a married man yet.
No. Sabres have the puck, 95 seconds to play. Gianta has 2 of the 3 Buffalo goals. Got it over. Klingberg keeping him at bay. Shooting it out to center ice to Spezza. Hands it over to Eaves. He'll crank it deep. Lindback still in the Buffalo net, or near it anyway. Motioning toward the bench. Grigorenko lost it to Seguin. In comes Eaves. Lindback still in the net for Buffalo. Seguin holding it in the corner. Seguin pitching away against Gianta. Seguin capturing the puck along the boards. And Gianta rams him from behind. Flips the puck ahead to center ice. Foligno tried to catch it. Lindback still uncertain whether he should go, and now he does go. Seguin steals it at center ice. Seguin shoots. Oh, just wide. But he had crossed the red center line, so there's no icing. Stars up by a goal. The Sabres come with an extra attacker with 35 left. Weber shooting it in from center, winding around to Letton's left. Nemeth pitching it to the line, and he got it past Molson. Ennis backing up. Shot it forward. Delorier bumped it in. Letton set it down.
He's going for it.
Tried to. Benn winning a puck battle against Ristolainen. Got it out to center ice. 10 seconds remaining. Benn knocked it into the corner. Goligoski goes around the boards to Nemeth. He chewed it up, put it up the wall, out to center ice. And they outlast the Sabres in this one tonight.
Well, the Sabres can be proud of their effort here once again tonight, but they don't have anything on their side that can match Jamie Benn. And he was the alpha male and the shiny penny in this contest tonight in a big way.
Hanging around. They've won 3 straight, 6 of their last 7, 8 of their last 10. And with 9 games to go, they ain't out of it yet. Tonight's game produced by Jason Walsh and directed by Mark Vittorio. The associate producers for Dallas Stars Hockey are John Sponsler, Doug Foster, and Cody Eastwood. Stars finish off the homestand with an impressive 4-3 win over the Buffalo Sabres. They outshoot them. For Daryl Ray and the rest of the gang, I'm Ralph Strand. Just hang in there. Postgame show is coming up now.